Hello, this video is for the MRH trade inspections and how to upload them to our online portal, OpenGov. This video will go over how to create a portal account, how to register for your contact registration, and how to upload your inspection reports for electrical, plumbing, and mechanical. And then lastly, we will go over how to use OpenGov overall. Here are some QR codes to get you onto the website. So the first one is to our online portal, which is OpenGov, and then the second one is to our MRH section of our website. That will give you just better information if you have any more questions. So that first QR code will take you to the Sandy Springs online portal, permitting portal, OpenGov. So the first thing we will do is hit log in or sign up. If you've done any work in the city of Sandy Springs in the last 14 months or so, you probably already have an account, so you will just log in. If you do not, you will sign up. You'll keep hitting those buttons until you get to this page and hit log in or sign up. Once you are there, it will take you to this main home page. You'll scroll down to that second row on the right and do contact registration. You will scroll down and hit select and apply online. You will fill out this information. This information will stay with you and you do not have to fill out this section again once you fill it out once. You will hit next. You will hit your contact type. You should be a registered contractor. That is a requirement to be an inspector for any of our trades. So you need to be licensed in the state of Georgia for your trade. So you will select that. You will either select mechanical, electrical, master journeyman, plumber, or plumber contractor, whichever one best describes you. You will fill out your information. And then you will hit your contractor license information. So yes, you will need to be you should have that since you have to be a contractor in the state of Georgia. You'll put that contractor's license and then you will select your expiration date. You will upload your business license. This is your yearly business license. Since we are at the end, this video is being recorded at the beginning of a year. I just would like to note that most business licenses do expire in December, but most people don't get it until March. We do allow that grace period. You'll just need to upload a receipt until you can get your current business license. And then you will do your government issued photo ID and then fill out that information. You will hit next. You will sign your name. And then you will have a witness sign your name. It cannot be yourself. And then you will upload all those documents that you submitted. You put the information in ahead of time, or previously, sorry. And then you will hit next. Then you will go all the way down and you will hit confirm and submit. So now we will go on back up to this top part. Once you hit confirm and submit, you will go back to this part that says City of Sandy Springs. This will take you back to the main part. And then you'll go all the way to the bottom to the multifamily housing section. In that bottom middle, you'll scroll all the way down. We're going to start with electrical. We will go through each of these. So feel free to skip ahead to your correct inspection type, or you can just listen in. They'll be really quick. So first, I would like to point out that we have an addressing map here. So this will take you to all the properties that we have and then their inspection unit number, so that helps you kind of locate all their units. And then you can go to apply online. This information should be here since you did your contact registration. You will hit next. You will put in the address. So you can go through and put, you can select the unit and type it out fully. I'd also like to note, if you just select whatever one's the first one, once you get to that right main address, you can hit where it says unit and hit that drop down, and you can select whatever unit you are working on. You will hit next and you will put in your information. This is coming from your contact registration. So your name will not appear if your contact registration has not been approved yet. It usually does take about 1 to 2 business days for those to get approved and gone through the system. And it also will not show up if you have an expired document. So then you'll go ahead and hit next, and then you'll put your property name. So you'll select whatever name that applies to, and then you'll hit whatever annual inspection year this is. So if they were for 25 or 26, we should not be doing anyone who is 27 at this moment. And then you will hit building number, and then you will hit the unit. Can the unit be inspected? So if no, we ask why, and you'll hit next. And then if yes, you will hit yes and continue. So then it will bring you up to this part. You will hit either pass or fail. For this one, I will do a failed report. So then you'll put what is required. And then you'll hit next, and you'll add a photo. So you'll note what's happening so that the properties can easily figure out what you are speaking about. Then you'll hit next, add any additional comments you may have, and then you'll hit next, and you will sign your name. And then you'll hit next. I will go over how to add a guest at the end, but here is a helpful link in case you forget. You can hit next, and then you'll add your electrical report and hit next. You'll go all the way to that bottom and you'll hit confirm and submit. I am not going to do that. I will show you a completed one at the end. So I will go back to this top part. Again, remember that upper left-hand corner always takes you back to the home page. I'll scroll back down to that multifamily housing section in the middle bottom. And then I will scroll down and we're going to do plumbing. So I'll select plumbing, and again, for those who skipped ahead, we have a apartment addressing map. So that if you click that, that will take you to the apartments and tell you all the addressing for all the unit numbers. And then you can go ahead and hit apply online. This information should be there since you did your contact registration. And then you'll hit your addressing. You can go ahead and type out fully the address. A shortcut way is to hit whatever one is first, and then you'll go to that first drop down and you can select whatever unit you have. So whatever unit you're putting the record in for. You will hit next and you will hit put your name in. So again, your name will not show up if your contact registration has not been approved. That does take about 1 to 2 business days to go through the system and get reviewed by our review coordinators. The other reason a contact registration would not show up is that you have a document that has expired. That will come into renewal and you will need to re-upload all your documents, the expired documents. And then you'll go to select whatever the property name is. If the property name does not show up, because the property has changed their name, please use an old one. It's probably just not updated in the system yet. We try to do that each inspection year. So you'll select whatever inspection this is for. At the current moment, that's either 25 or 26. In the future, you can add whatever year you want. So you'll go in and add, say if the unit has been can be inspected. So reasons the unit cannot be inspected, you can't go in, there's a minor, no key, burned building. So those are all different reasons why we see that units cannot be inspected. So if no, you'll just tell us that reason. If yes, you'll continue on. And then you'll hit either pass or failed. Failed will require an action. If you would like to see what the failed process goes through, then you are go to the electrical permit. For this one, we will go for passed. And then type any additional comments you may have. You will hit next and you will put in your name. And then you will hit next. Again, this is just a link to get to the how to add a guest to your record type. We will go over that at the end of this video, but here's a helpful link in case you forget. And then you'll just add any additional requirements you may have. You will scroll all the way down and hit that confirm and submit. I'm going to go back to this main page again. And then I'm going to go back down to that bottom and go to that multifamily housing section. And we're going to go through mechanical inspections. So for mechanical, again, that is, we have the apartment map. I would like to just note out that kind of gives you all the unit numbers for that building, for that property. And then you can go back to that apply online, and you will select that. This information should be there since you have your contact registration. You will keep going. I do suggest that you you can either type out the full address or you are welcome to just select whatever is first and go to that main or this first drop down units and then put whatever unit or building that is in. If it's just showing building, that is most likely because that address has different, their main address is different than the unit number addresses. So you are welcome. That's where this will come into play and tell you where to go find these. And then you will scroll down and hit next. You will put your address or your name in here. Again, your contact registration will not show up if your contact registration has not been approved in the system yet, or if you have a document that has expired, that will trigger your contact registration not to show up. You'll hit next, you'll select what property name that is, and then you'll select what inspection year you are doing this for, and then what building number this is. You'll either hit no if the unit cannot be inspected and then give us the reason why. And then you will hit yes if the unit can be inspected. After that, we go, for HVAC, we ask the age and condition of the unit. Then we ask the unit model. Or sorry, unit make. And then the model. And then we ask for the serial number. Next, we ask if it's passed or failed. So if it's failed, you'll do a required action. If it is passed, you'll just hit passed, and then you'll give us any additional comments you may have. Hit next. You will sign up or sign your name. You will hit next. This goes over your how to add a guest to the record. Again, you can add them. We'll go over that in a minute, but that is just a helpful link in case you forget. You'll add any additional photos that you may need. You'll hit scroll all the way down and hit that confirm and submit. So now that we've walked through all three of those inspection types, we're going to go up to this right-hand corner and to my account. This is kind of your dashboard and your homepage for everything. If you have any renewals, so that is any units that failed, they will need to be re-inspected and resubmitted for them to be considered passed. So you will go, that will be here. There'll be a button that says renew now. Those do take about 24 hours for them to trigger once you submit the record. And then messages. So this is any messages you want to do between you and the property owner. If they have any repairs and it just involves photos, you can have them upload a photo and you can review it without coming back on site. We are totally okay with that. It's a great way to use the system. In case we have any questions, we can go back and look. Permits and docs, it's just a quick few. Just so you know, final means passed, failed means failed. I do suggest using the permits and docs section. That's probably an easier way for you to find all your information. Application, that will be everything that you're attached to. So any of your drafts. So if you exit out of one and didn't submit, it will save. Any of your active permits and any of your complete permits. So you can go up to this left-hand side and also see that. So you can go to applications there or permits and docs there. So we'll go through one of these documents. So if you go through the applications, it will take you to this, your submissions. This will show you all the information that you submitted. You can go to attachments. You can add any attachments at any point. And then you will you can go select guest. So guest, we do ask you to try to do the generic properties email. That way they're attached to the main account as well. You're welcome to use any emails that they request that you use. We are urging everyone to use that property account just so that everything's there, no matter who the property manager, if they're on vacation or with the property. So you'll just add their email in. And hit grant access. The only thing that guests cannot do is they cannot add or remove other guests. So if anything needs to change, you will need to go into that account and change it for them. And they cannot do any request changes. So if anything needs to change, or the renewals, they cannot access that. So you will have to do that. And then if you go to that final inspection status, you can either print the document. So this is what one of the past documents look like. And then you can type in any questions you may have. So if you want to leave a note, you are welcome to do so. Or if they leave a note, that is whatever you would like. So I'm going to go back to that My account. I'm going to go back to that permits and docs, and I'm going to go show you one of the failed reports. So this is what one of the failed reports look like. It will just assume you want to print. You can hit cancel if you do not. So this is what one of the failed reports look like. So just so you're aware, in case there's any questions. We're going to go back to some additional resources. So This is the list of the inspection schedule. So we did a rolling start date for everyone. We originally started in 2024. We did push that back to a start date of December of 2025. So this is the first round of people. So they'll start 2025 for whatever they're selected for. They'll do another one in 26, another one in 27, and then they'll have 28 and 29 off, and then they'll start again in 2030. So you can quickly pause the video. I'm going to just go through all of these. It's kind of the same place, but I just wanted to add this in case you were wondering what people's inspection schedules were. So you can just pause at any point if you would like. And then this is just a list of all their inspections that they're required to do yearly, if you have any questions or they have any questions. Here again is the QR codes. I would like to just point out some important dates so that everyone is on the same page. So December 31st each year is when we require that 100% of the initial inspections be completed. So that means that every unit has been inspected. For the December 31st deadline, that does include, we do count any units that cannot be inspected as failed units. So those would count in that. For March 31st, we do require that 100% have been passed and inputted into this system. So they have to 100% pass, all the deficiencies need to be noted. If there's any, I like to also mention that if there's any big capital expenses for a property, please urge them to come talk to us. We do meetings every week that they can sign up for to kind of talk about that. There's sometimes a lot of equipment has to be replaced, and we don't want them to fail and not get their business license. So this is attached to their business license. So all of that is due by March 31st. Here is the email for MRH if you have any additional questions. Here's some contact information as well. If you have any direct questions for these departments, you can contact them here. That MRH email everyone has access to as well and can check whenever they check regularly. So just quickly, building department, Jonathan Livingston, he's kind of the spearhead of this part. The MEP is, so he's probably the best one to talk about any specific questions you have about the inspections. If you see any major code or fire violations, feel free to always reach out. You are always eyes and ears on this parts. Here's some just additional contact information. So for code enforcement, those are the code enforcement officers who are assigned to these MRH properties and do their own inspections. For fire marshal, they also do their own inspections. If you have any addressing questions, feel free to reach out to Bridget or GIS, and that would be gis@sandyspringsga.gov. And then if you have any questions about OpenGov or any other additional questions, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Sarah Weigel. And that will be all for this video. Thank you so much.